We do have big news out of South Korea. So Kyle Becker tweets, South Korean President Yoon Suk Yeol has declared martial law. The parliament just voted to undo it 190-0. What the hell is going on in South Korea? So that's sort of the super condensed timeline of this. But let's take a look at this from CNN to catch people up.
South Korean president declaring martial law in a late-night TV address. CNN's Mike Valerio joining us now from Seoul. Mike, I know the detail pretty sketchy at this point. What do we know?
Well, we have disturbing details that are just crossing the Reuters wire, Becky, as our colleagues and team of journalists are sorting through what this means. Reuters reporting at this hour that all media in South Korea are coming under the control of martial law command in South Korea. What that means for us here at CNN, unclear. Our bureau's broadcasting from the heart of Seoul, South Korea. But protesters, according to information that is just coming into our bureau here, are being told by law enforcement that they can be arrested without any warrant in this new chapter of martial law that has begun just about an hour and a half ago. So to bring our viewers up to speed, what exactly we're dealing with here, the president of South Korea, Yoon Suk Yeol, comes on TV in an unannounced address to the nation and says, Becky, because of what he described as elements of government that are, from his view, sympathetic to North Korea, to communist forces, because of those things and others, he's declaring martial law for the first time since this country has been ruled by military dictatorship in the 1980s.
Notice when the anti-communists get really afraid of communists, they start acting just like they say the communists act. You know?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. I think that's worth observing. All right, this is almost done.
Now, we are trying to sort through what this means for democracy in this bastion of democratic rule in East Asia. I live about just a couple minutes away from where we're broadcasting from. There are police, Becky, who are on their phones, calling their captains, calling their colleagues, asking, what are they to do? What does this mean? What is going on in the building that I live in? And when you're just walking through the streets, there are people who are running to their families' homes to be with them, to figure out what to do to be close to loved ones in this moment that is unprecedented in so many of our memories. So
sounds like some pretty crazy bullshit going on over there out of nowhere today. South Korea President Yoon Suk Yeol declares martial law. Opposition leaders vow to fight. So this was shortly before the parliament voted to lift it. South Korean President Yoon Suk Yeol declared martial law late on Tuesday as he accused the country's main opposition party of being overly sympathetic to North Korea and other anti-state activities. Opposition leaders called the move unconstitutional and vowed to fight back. Parliament passed a motion requiring Yoon to lift his declaration. Photos and videos showed parliamentary staffers spraying fire extinguishers at armed martial law forces as they tried to breach the building. So we have some photos here. The videos are quite violent. They would run risk of getting this video age restricted. And so we're not going to take any chances on that front. But we will show you some photos here. DW News. South Korea's parliament, with 190 of its 300 members present, passed a motion requiring the martial law declared by President Yoon to be lifted. National Assembly Speaker Woon Won-shik said lawmakers will protect democracy with the people. So here's military clashing outside the parliament. There you could see another angle of that shot. These photos courtesy of Reuters, who broke this story. Here you could see they seem to be barricading themselves inside to protect from the military who's trying to break in. The surprise martial law declaration comes as Yoon's People Power Party and the opposition Democratic Party were locked in a political battle over a budget bill. Wow, seems like a pretty extreme reaction to a battle over a budget bill. Yoon said in a late-night television address that he made the declaration to protect the Free Republic of Korea from the threat of North Korean communist forces to eradicate the despicable pro-North Korean anti-state forces that are plundering the freedom and happiness of our people and to protect the free constitutional order. They don't have no fucking parliamentarian bullshit over there, it sounds like. That doesn't sound like that would fly in South Korea.
What is he basing this on?
It seems to be, I mean, apparently his wife is being
in spite of
investigated for something.
appearances, we're not South Korea experts here.
Yeah, we're not South Korea experts here, but
I know we may have misrepresented ourselves as such in the past.
Yeah, right.
But
exactly.
it's time to come clean. That's why you should always be honest, because then all of a sudden a big South Korea story breaks. People expect you to know what the fuck you're talking about.
And you're caught flat-footed. That's right.
Yep.
South Korean opposition parties had taken the country's parliamentary system hostage and thrown the country into crisis, Yoon said, leaving him no choice but to make the drastic move. South Korea is a close American ally and trade partner. The administration is in contact with the ROK, Republic of Korea government, and is monitoring the situation closely, the U.S. Defense Department said in a statement Tuesday, using the country's formal name, the Republic of Korea. Lee Jae-myung, leader of the opposition Democratic Party, which has the majority in parliament, told YTN parliament would try to nullify the declaration. Michael Tracy, always on it. We're going to be previewing our full interview with Michael Tracy a little bit later on the show. Says, wow, President Yoon's decree imposing martial law in South Korea bans, quote, all political activities, including all political parties, rallies, and even the National Assembly itself. Fake news is banned, quote unquote, and the military will control the media, all to preserve liberal democracy. So we'll read this.
Pretty typical of U.S. allies, right? That's what Ukraine did.
Of course. Yeah. They're just trying to be a good partner. They're, what did the guy call it? A bastion of democracy in the East. Yeah. Yep. South Korean president. So this is screenshotted from Tracy's tweet from the original Reuters report here. South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol, pardon me, declared, I don't want to get his name wrong, he might come for us, declared martial law on Tuesday for the first time in the country since 1980. Below is a Reuters translation of the military decree. In order to protect liberal democracy from the threat of overthrowing the regime of the Republic of Korea by anti-state forces active within the Republic of Korea and to protect the safety of the people, the following is hereby declared throughout the Republic of Korea as of 2300 hours on December 3rd, 2024. All political activities, including the activity of the National Assembly, local councils, and political parties, political associations, rallies, and demonstrations, are prohibited. All acts that deny or attempt to overthrow the liberal democratic system are prohibited, and fake news, public opinion manipulation, and false propaganda are prohibited. All media and publications are subject to the control of the martial law commands. Maybe him and Kim Jong-un just did like a state swap, like a little role-playing game. Who knows?
Maybe,
sounds like that to me.
Maybe.
Strikes.
I hear Yeonmi Park has been seen plying her wares behind the bus station.
Exactly. Strikes, work stoppages, and rallies that incite social chaos are prohibited. All medical personnel, including trainee doctors who are on strike or have left the medical field, must return to their jobs within 48 hours and work faithfully. Those who violate will be punished in accordance with the martial law. Innocent, ordinary citizens, excluding anti-state forces and other subversive forces, will be subject to measures to minimize inconvenience in their daily lives. Oh, that's nice of him. Violators of the above proclamation may be arrested, detained, and searched without a warrant in accordance with Article 9 of the Martial Law Act of the Republic of Korea. So, yeah, that sounds pretty fucking intense to me. Now, here is video of the unanimous vote to end the martial law. Now, unanimous with a bit of an asterisk here because only 190 of the 300 members of parliament were present. But like I said, we are far from South Korean legal scholars here, so I don't know what the rules are. But 190 is a majority of 300. So assuming it's, assuming it's majority rule, they have the votes anyway, even if everyone were present. But here's a video of that.
You've got the wrong clip. This was the vote to make Gangnam Style the #1 song in the country.
비상계엄 해제 요구 결의안은 가결되었음을 선포합니다.
Gangnam Style.
I apologize about that loudness, folks. I didn't realize, man, they got really excited for that vote. Well, I don't blame them. Hey, it's tense circumstances over there, right? So there's the vote. Here's Chase Oliver, who wore a mask at Thanksgiving 4 years ago. I find it necessary to bring that up every time his name comes up, because I think that's really important that everybody understand that about him. So take everything he says with a grain of salt. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that is certainly more of a violation of our liberties than the demand that peaceful protesters be questioned by the FBI.
Right.
I would imagine people that are really bothered by Chase Oliver's mask wearing would be all over that.
Right.
They are, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, I just want to make sure everybody understands that. Let's make sure we and our military stay out of this mess in South Korea. President Biden and President-elect Trump should both make this commitment, anti-war, to the core. Ian Bremer says, I didn't have South Korea briefly becoming North Korea on my geopolitical bingo card. And speaking of North Korea, Russ teased this out earlier. I love this meme. In South Korea, the president can declare martial law for no reason whenever he wants. Yes, that seems to be what has happened there. So, yeah, quite the event there in South Korea. Now, I've seen some accounts that are saying that, look, because the United States seems to be not supportive of the president's decision, as you could see just from the media coverage, that there may very well be a soft coup of sorts in the coming months, because we need South Korea as our vassal state. We have a lot of military bases there. Mm-hmm. There are eyes on North Korea. There are eyes on China. And so if this guy goes off the reservation,
in case of an invasion of China.
Exactly, yes. So if this guy goes off the reservation in this way, he might have to be replaced, because it seems like this is too disruptive even for the United States. And it's not really clear why. It says they were locked in a budget battle. Apparently his wife is being investigated for who knows what. Like I said, this just broke today. We're not going to be posers and pretend we're experts. But obviously just an extreme response to what seems like a pretty mundane political problem he may be facing. So, yeah, if it's in the interest of the West to keep the shit to shoe level, they might need to get him removed.
I mean, can't they? I mean, South Korea, you don't have to pull CIA coup kind of tactics, right? Can't they just do a no confidence vote?
I mean, he seems pretty unpopular. I mean, the parliament voted unanimously to overturn this.
Can't the parliament vote to hold new elections?
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't imagine they're not doing that, given the unanimous vote of opposition to this. Now, some people are quibbling over the fact that there were only 190 members present out of 300. I don't have any reason to believe anybody else would vote any differently. And even if they did, you're already at 190. You already have a pretty overwhelming majority. Yeah. So that is quite something. That was quite the surprise to wake up to. Talk about a story just coming out of absolutely nowhere.
And, one angle, because this did come up so quickly, I didn't have a chance to explore. And maybe we will subsequently, depending on whether this develops into something even worse. South Korea has the lowest birth rate in the world. It's a real crisis for the country. Like they are leading the way into societies that are facing oblivion due to not having a younger generation. So is that creating social tensions? I mean, certainly if that trend continues worldwide, it would lead to social instability. You are going to see societies facing that kind of population collapse become increasingly unstable. So is South Korea getting there first? And is it partly because of the low birth rate plus this, almost over 70-year pressure of being right on the line of the old Cold War, which never really ended in that part of the world?
Like I said, I mean, I just am not as versed enough in this to answer that either way. What I can say, though, is seems to be a very, very extreme measure to take, seemingly out of nowhere. And so I'm sure there will be more on this that we'll cover more probably on Thursday. as we have time to look into this a little more. Like I said, this just broke basically before we did the show today. Yeah, I mean, you talk about just a drastic measure. I mean, you read those 6 orders. I mean, yeah, that's martial law. Now, apparently it has been lifted. But remains to be seen what exactly this was about. Him saying there are anti-state actors. I mean, he made it sound like he was responding to an emergency, which goes without saying. He declared martial law. That's what you do. But I don't really see what evidence he has produced or what evidence the media has produced that would legitimize that response or legitimize any claim that this was anywhere in the realm of being necessary. It doesn't seem like that to me.
Well, wasn't the
I think you
opposition
can kind of tell that by the fact that the media is not, our U.S. media, our corporate media has an incentive to legitimize and prop up the state of South Korea, obviously, and they don't seem to be doing that. They seem to be saying this was a bridge way too far.
Well, there are rumors that the opposition was going to release proof that Yeonmi Park's breasts are in fact fake.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Exactly. So, that's a rumor. We will have to vet that.
He was trying to put a stop to it.
Yes. We cannot confirm that, but that Russell has a source. Russell says that a lot of very smart people are saying
a lot of very smart people are saying that could destabilize one of their most successful propaganda efforts.
There you go.
Please clap.